Hey, just like to share an observation. Um, besides making writing music a lot, I am going to be acting a real small part in an upcoming movie. The same folks that did Flyover Country are starting their next feature film. It's called Amplifier, and I play a record store owner in the movie. It's a real small part, but the director had a workshop put together, run last night by a experienced actress named Moira Mangiamelli, local actress, and it was very helpful. But I want to, I, as well as absorbing some skills and some thoughts on how to be in front of the camera in regards to acting and being believable, because here I'm just being myself, so this doesn't require any acting. I was observing, we did group exercises. You know how you do your icebreakers, and then you do these exercises to find out how people are responding to each other in a group, and also to point out certain things about acting. And one of the things I found very interesting in general about the group activities was how it's not so much that everyone was trying to be a leader, but everyone, there would be several times when it was time to make a decision. There were several times when we had to make group decisions, and being the observer that I am, this is my nature. I'm observing, and I observed how the majority of the group, just rather than focusing on making a decision, seemed more focused on being funny and playing the moment. And this kept happening until now. I myself am an observer, okay? So I put in my 2 cents, and wait and see. And then what I was watching was, we were given tasks that we would repeat until we achieve the goal. And you'd have to, each time you don't reach the goal, you have to discuss or start again what you're going to change. And what I found interesting is it wasn't a real large group of actors, but out of the group of actors, only one other person besides myself seemed to weary of what seemed like time wasting, pointing the finger at the self, as opposed to finding a way to get the group to act. Very interesting. I noticed when this other person, not because of me, but because of, I could see in their own way of doing things, they were saying, okay, I'm ready to move forward, and yet everyone else was completely lost. I shouldn't say that, but it appeared that people were really quite engaged in just playing the moment and exercising their wit, there's a lot of funny things said. It was interesting. I mean, it was an interesting observation. It was an interesting situation. I think what I'm getting at about this observation is how I'm applying it to the way that I'm looking at the way the world is working in general. How it seems that it's very difficult to get people to work in accord. It really appears that it's very difficult to get people to cooperate and find a way to get a group think going. Group think. Or, that was just one situation, but I'm observing all the time, and I think it's again, I look at things as microcosms of the larger. And it did illustrate to me how in social media we have instant interaction ability now. And so we do that, and we talk to each other, and we try to share our thoughts and feelings. And just quite a bit of it is talking at each other. And I'm not saying there's anything right or wrong about that. It's an observation, perhaps it's helped, I'm using it to kind of just help adjust my gaze on how to keep looking at each day, because I'm always wanting and hoping for a sign that something in a general sense is turning around about events the way they're going. And every day I really don't see a whole lot of evidence of such, but it's just my nature to be kind of focused. That's what I've invested a lot of my life into, is focused on, well, this just okay, I see how we're living, but it's like, to try to tell me that this is the best that we can do, being a finance market based planet, where, as opposed to humane based, I just don't buy it. I know that we could have, I think we probably made better choices at some time. I don't know. These things never escape my my thoughts for very long, and perhaps this is why I'm crazy. Maybe I really am crazy, which is fine, because I don't know any other way to be except the way that I am, which is why I share what I am to you. I made that observation too last night in the acting workshop, that after the exercises were done and we went on to starting to read the script, I said, it was very interesting how in all these exercises, the one thing that is extremely clear to me is that we all operate from our own perspective, and that each perspective is completely unique, and it is the reality that that person is living in, and there's no right or wrong about it. It's just, to me, it just is, it helps me to deal with things, to remember that, because in conversing with a lot of folks, it just seems like a lot of folks just don't, again, I'm making a generality, but I am thinking out loud, so I'll share the thought. It seems like there's a lot of automatic responses and automatic behavior from people, and really not very, I don't know. Seems like it's more important to be funny right now than for things to really make sense. It really does. Just thought I'd share that observation. Not that it means anything, or, like I've said in a video a long time ago, when I was a little kid, I dreamed of the idea of having my own TV station, or, where I could just do what I want. Being able to make YouTube videos is pretty much that. So it's just me here sitting at home, doing my thing. I share records and my music a lot, and then there'll be times like this where I just want to talk about what's on my mind, because that's what I really want to do. That's what I'd like to share. I haven't really been trying to sell the records. I get an order now and then. I'm still selling Kleeman besides my records, but I'll leave my links if you're interested. Oh, the one thing I will say about the records is that when you buy from Bandcamp, folks, I almost want to take my music off of Bandcamp to buy, because if you buy it from my blog, you're buying it more directly from me than Bandcamp. Bandcamp takes a cut of the money, and if you buy it from the DVH Blogspot direct, that's better. But I understand how a person can think because they're buying it from Bandcamp it's more legitimate, but actually it's not, folks. They're actually a middleman getting in the, it's a middleman that I wish wasn't necessary, and in some ways they're not necessary, except that because of consumer mentality, a criticism here. I'm saying that this is a critical thought. It seems that consumer mentality training has worked well, that people respond to brands and people respond to the idea that something seems more legitimate than not. In fact, it's more legitimate to buy the music directly from me than Bandcamp, okay? DVHblogspot.com is more direct. Bandcamp is a middleman. They don't do shit except take my money and give me that platform, to have the music available, which is helpful, but at the same time trying to tell you what the real deal is, okay? So there's my bit about music and self-promotion. My thoughts on all kinds of things, you know. All kinds of things. And it's a really, to me, folks, come on now. This is a weird time in history right now. I feel it every day compared to how I felt in the 70s, 80s, 90s, especially the 60s. Not just because I was younger, but I mean, I'm noticing how the tenor of the general conversation of media and the world has changed drastically in the last 10 years. It's like just keeps sliding deeper and deeper into the shitter, and the general response seems to be oblivion, like, oh, did something happen? Just watch my show and have my beer. I don't know. I'm probably just crazy.